one of the things that might be up for you is that you're wanting some trust that you and your husband are on the same side, and that you're sort of pulling together in the same direction, that you can rely on him to have your back. And when you imagine him forming alliances or getting support from other people in the family or other people that you know who have a lot of judgments and criticisms about you, you feel really vulnerable and really scared in those moments. Am I getting that right so far or not? The thing you're wanting is trust and connection with your husband, yes or no? Okay, so you're wanting to build more trust and you're wanting to build more connection. And your default programming is, instead of getting grounded in the trust and the connection and thinking of ways to build trust and connection, your stress response system, your reptilian brain, will kick in and have you see through the lens of what is wrong. And you get very focused. This is not you only, this is people, okay? Humans get very focused on what he's doing wrong that I don't like, that I see as a threat, what this other person is doing wrong that I don't like, that I see as a threat. And then all of our psychological defenses, all of our control mechanisms kick in. And we then try to get them to stop doing that bad, hurtful thing. And if you were raised in a domination system, you will do it from a power over place, usually with a lot of righteousness, with the idea, like many of us were raised in systems where there's this idea that making people suffer more is going to get them to behave in the way that we want. And what actually happens is that making them suffer more has them doing that same thing more and more and more. Have you found that to be true or not? Yes. Okay. We get the opposite of what we're trying to get. So from a purely practical point of view, that kind of domination programming doesn't work for human relationships. And the fix is to catch the ways in which I'm stuck in the perception of wrongness, and I'm talking about what I don't want, and I'm talking about what's bad, and I'm talking about what's wrong. Because the more that I'm doing that, the more I'm going to get more of that. And to instead give myself a pause and to take a step back and think, what am I actually feeling in this moment? Maybe I'm feeling hurt. Maybe I'm feeling vulnerable. Maybe I'm feeling scared, right? You identified fear. And then I might say, what are the things I'm afraid of losing? What are the things that I'm afraid might happen? And I want to take some time to really get aware for myself. I first need quite a lot of self-connection. I need some self-understanding so that I can learn to trust myself, so that I'm not abandoning myself. And, you know, you're wanting more trust and you're wanting more connection. And maybe I'm going to just make up things, like I'm going to project all my own stuff now into your situation. So fair warning, okay? But if it were me, I would be wanting to have a different kind of quality of relationship with my husband. I'd be wanting to build new ways of being together. I'd want an agreement that when we're in pain of any kind, that we discuss it with one another and that we find a way forward that is really good for both of us. I would want a little bit more safety and security. So if I bring up a conversation where I am revealing vulnerably the impact that something is having on me, not from a place of criticism or domination or righteousness, but from a place of vulnerability, and I'm talking about what it is that I'm wanting to build and create and what I'm longing for and what I'm valuing in this relationship, and then finding out, do you value that too? Do you want that too? And if I'm willing to slow it down and sit in the place of how painful this is for both of us, that we're not really living into that right now, and what could we do that would help us, instead of keeping the focus on what's wrong with you and what's wrong with me, we have a whole new conversation and way of being that we can begin cultivating. To the degree that I can trust myself to start talking about what matters to me, I feel less fear. I feel more confidence. I feel more clarity. To the degree that I feel like I have a tool that is in line with my own integrity of what kind of person I want to be, it's not so confusing to me anymore. When I know that I've shown up in a way that is really kind and clear, and maybe it's a truth that neither this person nor I like very much. Maybe we're just like sitting with a truth that we kind of are struggling with, but it's true and it's kind and it's real. There's much less for me to be afraid of, because I'm not going to go into shame and self-doubt on the other end because I showed up in ways that don't meet my own needs. Like when I'm violent, I end up feeling a lot of shame. And then other people can turn things around on me very easily. They can be like, well, but you. And then I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. I was kind of a shit, and then I feel like I lose some ground. So I don't want that. I don't want that insecurity. I want to be really, really clear and trust myself to show up in a way that I'm like, I like how I'm showing up. This is what I'm wanting to model and live into in our relationship. And here are the dilemmas we have that are really difficult, and what are we going to do about it? And then it's a relational thing. It's not me doing things to you, and it's not you doing things to me.